Hi, and welcome to EDL 812 Intermediate Quantitative Research. I'm Charles Houseman, and I'll be serving as the professor of this course. What I want to do in this particular video clip is just give you an orientation of what the course will tell and how I'm going to organize it. The first point I want to emphasize, if you just open up the syllabus and go through it, as most of you know, I also taught this course in a weekend format, so the syllabus was actually organized for that group, but the key points are still relevant across both sections, including yours. The first thing I want to emphasize is that I really believe strongly that you learn best about statistics by actually running them. So I'm going to give you many databases of real educational settings, both K-12 and post-secondary, and we will go through problems and how to run those problems both together and then independently. And ultimately my goal is for you to be able to select the correct type of analysis when I give you a problem to analyze, run that analysis, and most importantly, write it up correctly that would be in a way appropriate for a dissertation. So my goal is really when you complete this course that you'll be empowered to do a quantitative dissertation if you so choose to. I am going to assume, even though you had a 10, that you all start at the same point, and that point requires a review of the most basic tests that you ran in that course. And the reason I'm choosing to do that is because this class is sequentially organized, and if you're not on the train, so to speak, early on, you won't be able to handle and understand the higher analyses that we do. So we'll start with some basic descriptive statistics. I'll review the different types of t-tests and so forth. In terms of grades, there are really two categories of grades. I'm going to give you 3 statistical exercises or homework assignments that are 4 or 5 problems each. And what I'll do is I'll circle on those outputs things that I want you to interpret, and you write up the interpretation for me. You can do those in groups of 2, and just when you return them to me, make sure both names are on them, and I give iterative feedback on those. So if you're too wordy or you're incorrect, I'll correct what you wrote, and then you can resubmit. And that'll be roughly 40% of your grade. The other grade is a final exam, and that final exam is collaborative and it's take-home. It has 3 different parts to it. You can work in groups of 4 on that. It will look long, but it shouldn't take that long. I'll give you about 10 fill-in-the-blanks, and I'll give you sample problems, and you write the specific test that you would run. Then I'll give you several types of outputs and ask you to describe the different parts that I circle in those outputs, much like the homework assignments. So those are due the day before my final grades are due, and I'll get to that date later. But that's the overview of the class. We're going to run statistics together, then independently. I'll give you lots of practice exams, and we'll learn this by doing. There are no readings. If you want me to recommend a book to you that's a statistics book, I will recommend a lab book, much like a workbook that prints out different types of charts, has arrows drawn to them, and how to interpret them. But I don't think you'll need that, because I've tried to do that in the handouts that I've prepared for you.